Well, Elon Musk is certainly not intimidated. He continues to speak out, particularly on what's happening in the UK right now.
Elon Musk has trained his guns at the United Kingdom government after he was denied an invitation to the country's upcoming investment summit over his posts on the violent anti-immigration riots in the UK last month.
Elon Musk recently entered the political debate in the UK with an unexpected and unfiltered critique of Labour Party leader Keir Starmer's immigration policy. Known for his willingness to wade into contentious issues, Musk didn't hold back in expressing his disapproval. His remarks, often sharply critical, created a storm of reactions across social media and the political landscape alike. His critique seemed to tap into the frustrations of those who feel disconnected from mainstream politics, a position Musk has increasingly taken up on global issues. The billionaire tech mogul's unexpected commentary on Starmer's policy not only raised eyebrows in political circles, but sent ripples through the broader public discourse. The clash highlighted the growing tensions around immigration policy in the UK, with Musk leveraging his massive influence to inject an outsider's perspective into a debate that has long been dominated by domestic voices. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. Keir Starmer's immigration policy, rooted in a cautious approach to immigration reform, aims to balance economic demands with public sentiment around national security and job protection. Starmer's proposal, a shift from some of the more liberal policies traditionally associated with labor, emphasizes the need for sustainable immigration while maintaining a stringent control on borders. He has argued that this approach would prevent the type of exploitation and economic strain that can occur when immigration is poorly managed. Yet, this attempt at compromise hasn't satisfied either the progressive side of the party, which views the policy as too conservative, or the more traditionalists who worry it doesn't go far enough to address concerns about national sovereignty. In this already polarized environment, Musk's intervention became a lightning rod, drawing attention to the deep divisions in UK politics regarding immigration and the question of how best to manage it in an era of economic uncertainty. Musk's critique of Starmer was fueled by a belief in a highly competitive and open global workforce, one that encourages talent to flow freely across borders to drive innovation. His stance starkly contrasts with Starmer's approach, which aims to limit immigration to what is deemed manageable by government standards. Musk suggested that Starmer's policy could stifle creativity and lead to a brain drain effect, in which talented individuals might seek opportunities in countries with more open immigration policies. He questioned whether the UK's leadership was adequately prepared to position the nation as a global hub for technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship if it continued to adopt restrictive policies on immigration. For Musk, immigration isn't just a matter of economic logistics or cultural preservation, but a key factor in global competitiveness, one that should be managed with a long-term vision rather than immediate political calculations. One of the more striking aspects of Musk's commentary was his ability to use his platform to amplify his message to millions around the world. Musk's reach on social media extends beyond the traditional political class, appealing to a broad audience that includes both supporters of his technological ventures and individuals frustrated with establishment politics. His words created a seismic impact online, as fans, critics, and observers alike debated the implications of Musk's statements. Unlike typical political analysts or commentators, Musk speaks directly to the public, bypassing the filters and formalities that often accompany political discourse. His directness resonated with many who feel that conventional political figures aren't speaking frankly about issues like immigration. While his statement was critical, it was also aspirational, suggesting a vision for a borderless world where talent and ideas flow freely. It's a vision that resonates with the globalized nature of the tech industry, in which Musk has played a defining role. The implications of Musk's criticism extend far beyond this single policy debate. His remarks highlighted the growing influence of non-political figures on major issues, particularly in areas where they have a vested interest or unique perspective. As someone who employs thousands of people worldwide and has relocated his businesses across borders to maximize opportunity and innovation, Musk's critique was underpinned by real-world experience. He's faced challenges with immigration laws in multiple countries and has openly discussed the importance of attracting the best talent regardless of nationality. His intervention served as a reminder that immigration isn't just a political issue, but a key factor in economic growth and technological progress. By framing the debate in terms of global competition and innovation, Musk shifted the conversation from one of borders and quotas to one focused on potential and opportunity. His stance raised questions about whether political leaders are prepared to adapt to the realities of a globalized economy, where talent can move to wherever opportunities are most plentiful. The timing of Musk's comments added another layer of intrigue. Starmer's Labour Party is poised to challenge the Conservative government in the next general election, with immigration policy likely to be a key issue. Musk's remarks, therefore, had the potential to sway public opinion, or at least shape the narrative around Starmer's campaign. By highlighting what he perceives as the flaws in Starmer's approach, Musk implicitly endorsed a different vision, one that aligns more closely with the free market ideals that have fueled his own success. His commentary could influence the conversation within the Labour Party itself, as members debate whether they should adopt a more open approach to immigration in line with Musk's vision. For Starmer, the critique from Musk posed a challenge. Should he defend his position, or consider adopting a stance that might appeal to the tech sector and the entrepreneurial class? Musk's entry into the UK immigration debate also underscored the power of social media to shape political discourse in unprecedented ways. Unlike traditional media outlets, social media allows figures like Musk to voice their opinions instantly and unfiltered, reaching an audience that spans across borders. His critique of Starmer was delivered directly to his followers, circumventing traditional media channels and gaining traction through retweets, comments, and likes. This form of direct communication reflects a broader trend in which influential individuals are using social media platforms to shape public opinion on political issues. Musk's approach, rooted in his status as a global figure with no formal political affiliations, illustrates the power that prominent business leaders can wield in shaping political narratives. His intervention demonstrated how social media can amplify a message, making it difficult for politicians to control the narrative or respond within the traditional frameworks of political discourse. The clash between Musk and Starmer's viewpoints brings to light a fundamental tension between those who favor strict national policies and those who believe in a borderless world. Musk's vision is informed by his belief in technological progress, innovation, and the free movement of ideas. His career exemplifies the benefits of openness and flexibility, principles that are often at odds with the bureaucratic and regulated nature of national immigration policies. Starmer, by contrast, must balance the economic needs of the UK with the concerns of voters who may feel threatened by rapid immigration changes. For him, immigration policy is not just about attracting talent, but about addressing public concerns over social cohesion, job security, and national identity. Musk's perspective, however, is rooted in a future-focused, tech-driven vision of society, one that prioritizes innovation and global interconnectedness over traditional notions of sovereignty. His critique, therefore, not only challenged Starmer's policy on a practical level, but also questioned the underlying values that guide his approach to governance. As Musk's comments gained traction, they also reignited a broader debate about the role of technology leaders in shaping public policy. Musk's success in fields like electric vehicles, space exploration, and renewable energy has positioned him as a thought leader whose opinions carry weight beyond the tech industry. His criticism of Starmer's immigration policy wasn't just a policy disagreement, but a challenge to the entire political establishment to rethink its approach to managing talent in the 21st century. Musk's position reflects the reality of a global economy where borders are increasingly seen as obstacles rather than protections, particularly in industries that rely on highly skilled labor. His remarks suggest that political leaders should consider whether restrictive immigration policies are compatible with the demands of a modern economy that thrives on diversity and innovation. This debate touches on a fundamental question: should governments prioritize short-term political stability or the long-term benefits of a more open and dynamic workforce? While Musk's comments sparked immediate reactions, the long-term implications of his critique could extend well beyond this particular policy dispute. His intervention may encourage other influential figures to weigh in on issues that affect their industries, particularly as globalization continues to reshape the political and economic landscape. As someone who has benefited from the open movement of ideas and talent, Musk's critique of Starmer's policy can be seen as part of a broader call for governments to adapt to the realities of a borderless world. His stance reinforces the idea that immigration is not just a political issue, but a critical component of economic strategy, one that requires a forward-thinking approach. By challenging Starmer's policy, Musk highlighted the importance of aligning immigration policy with the demands of a globalized economy, where talent and innovation are the driving forces of progress. Musk's outspoken response to Keir Starmer's immigration policy takes on further significance when viewed through the lens of his ambitious global aspirations. As a visionary who has consistently pushed boundaries in sectors ranging from electric vehicles and space exploration to neural technology, Musk sees open borders and the unrestricted movement of talent as central to the growth of cutting-edge industries. The debate Musk entered goes beyond the UK alone, reflecting a universal tension between countries that want to protect local jobs and stability while attracting the brightest minds from around the world. Musk's perspective is that a closed border mentality, especially for developed economies like the UK, might handicap them in the long run by denying the intellectual capital needed to drive transformative industries forward. His comments represent not only a critique of Starmer, but a direct challenge to the traditional view of national borders and talent control as necessary elements of modern governance. As Musk voiced his critique, he articulated a vision of global collaboration that directly contrasts with the bureaucratic and regulatory approaches adopted by many Western governments. Musk has previously argued that innovation doesn't recognize borders, a belief reflected in his multinational workforce and complex supply chains that span continents. He has championed a future where national policies support an interconnected world, a sharp departure from political trends that emphasize localized economics and protected job markets. Starmer's stance on immigration reflects a widely held belief in the importance of national labor protections. His position is crafted to respond to domestic concerns over job security, social stability, and the pressures on public services. Musk's perspective, by contrast, leans toward an ideal of fluidity in global labor, where immigration policy is seen as a bridge rather than a barrier. Musk's criticism highlights the rift between a tech-driven vision of a future workforce and the demands of local politics, as Starmer seeks to reassure voters who feel that their livelihoods are threatened by an influx of foreign workers. Musk's perspective on immigration stems from his personal journey as an immigrant from South Africa to the United States, where he faced numerous obstacles in establishing his businesses. Having personally encountered the bureaucratic challenges of immigration systems, Musk likely empathizes with skilled immigrants who struggle to navigate restrictive immigration policies. His career has been marked by a continuous search for environments that enable rather than restrict innovation, driving him to establish companies in locations where regulations are conducive to the rapid development of his projects. Musk's criticism of Starmer thus also reflects his desire for a world where talent is not hindered by unnecessary constraints, but is free to contribute to economic growth and progress. His argument is not solely theoretical. It's informed by a life shaped by the very challenges that many immigrants face. This personal experience lends depth to his position, as Musk envisions a society where talents are recognized and utilized without being encumbered by borders. The debate over immigration is often framed in economic terms, with proponents arguing that immigrants bring essential skills and contribute to GDP growth. Musk's perspective pushes this argument further, suggesting that skilled immigration is essential not only for short-term economic gain, but for long-term competitiveness on the global stage. In sectors like artificial intelligence, space exploration, and electric vehicles, attracting the best minds is paramount to maintaining a nation's technological edge. Musk's remarks highlight the potential for restrictive immigration policies to create a competitive disadvantage in high-tech industries. By limiting access to international talent, countries risk falling behind in the global race for innovation. Musk's critique of Starmer suggests that the Labour leader's immigration policy, if enacted, might inadvertently stymie the UK's aspirations to become a leader in tech and innovation, as it could drive skilled workers to more open economies. Musk warns that restricting immigration is not just a missed opportunity for growth. It's a decision that could weaken a country's standing in the international technological landscape. Musk's involvement in the UK immigration debate speaks to the broader question of who shapes public policy in a world where private sector leaders wield unprecedented influence. As someone who has disrupted industries and redefined market standards, Musk occupies a unique position. His opinion carries weight not only because of his business success, but because he represents a forward-thinking approach to economics, innovation, and progress. By critiquing Starmer, Musk effectively positioned himself as a spokesperson for the technology industry's interests, reflecting the concerns of companies that rely heavily on a diverse, skilled workforce. This intervention illustrates a shift in how public policy debates unfold. Influential figures outside traditional political structures are increasingly shaping discourse on issues that were once solely the domain of elected officials. Musk's critique suggests that policymakers might need to consider not only public opinion, but also the insights of industry leaders who have a stake in creating conditions that foster innovation. His voice adds a layer of complexity to the debate, as it forces political leaders to consider the broader economic impacts of their policies. The crux of Musk's argument against Starmer's immigration policy centers on the importance of flexibility in adapting to the demands of a rapidly changing world. For Musk, the concept of a static, highly controlled immigration policy is incompatible with the unpredictable nature of technological advancement. Emerging industries often require new skill sets that may not be readily available within national borders. In fields like robotics, clean energy, and quantum computing, the pace of development is so swift that countries must be agile in attracting talent to meet evolving demands. Musk's critique suggests that a restrictive immigration policy might prevent the UK from quickly adapting to these shifts, potentially limiting its capacity to lead in innovative fields. Musk advocates for an approach where immigration policies are dynamic and responsive to changes in the global economy, a stance that reflects his own experience in adapting to market demands and capitalizing on emerging opportunities. This flexibility, Musk argues, is essential for fostering an environment where groundbreaking ideas can flourish. For Starmer, Musk's critique brings with it significant political risks. While the Labour leader's immigration policy is designed to appeal to a broad swath of the UK electorate, particularly those concerned about the economic effects of immigration, Musk's remarks put Starmer in a difficult position. On one hand, Starmer must demonstrate to voters that he is committed to protecting British jobs and addressing concerns over immigration's impact on local communities. On the other hand, he must contend with the growing importance of the tech sector, which increasingly influences the national economy and requires access to skilled labor from around the world. Musk's criticism pressures Starmer to reconcile these competing demands, as he risks alienating either traditional labor voters or potential supporters within the business community. By challenging Starmer's policy, Musk has effectively pushed Labour to reassess its approach to immigration, particularly in terms of how it impacts the tech sector and broader economic growth. As the public reacts to Musk's statements, his critique also raises questions about the future of political leadership in an interconnected world. Musk's perspective challenges the conventional notion that national leaders can craft policies in isolation, without regard for the global context in which they operate. In Musk's view, policies that ignore global trends and technological realities are not only short-sighted, but potentially detrimental to a country's long-term prosperity. His comments underscore the need for political leaders to consider how their decisions will affect a nation's ability to compete on the world stage. For Musk, the future belongs to countries that embrace openness and adaptability, as these qualities are essential for thriving in a rapidly changing global economy. His critique of Starmer suggests that a shift toward more globally minded leadership is necessary if countries like the UK hope to remain competitive in fields that are increasingly defined by international collaboration. Musk's remarks have implications not only for immigration policy, but for the broader relationship between government and industry. His criticism of Starmer reflects a fundamental tension between political decision-making and market-driven needs, particularly in high-tech sectors where talent and innovation are crucial. Musk's perspective implies that government policies should be crafted with an eye toward the demands of the modern economy, which often requires access to a global workforce. His critique suggests that politicians must be willing to engage with the business community to ensure that policies support, rather than hinder, economic growth and innovation. This argument aligns with Musk's broader philosophy, which advocates for minimal restrictions and maximum freedom in order to unleash the full potential of technological progress. For policymakers, Musk's critique underscores the importance of working collaboratively with industry leaders to create conditions that enable innovation and economic dynamism. While Musk's comments were directed at Starmer, they also serve as a critique of a broader trend in Western politics toward tightening immigration policies. Many developed countries face similar debates, as governments seek to balance economic needs with social and political pressures. Musk's vision offers an alternative approach, one that prioritizes openness and adaptability in response to global trends. His argument suggests that countries that adopt restrictive immigration policies risk isolating themselves from the global economy, as they may struggle to attract the talent needed to drive future growth. By critiquing Starmer's policy, Musk calls attention to the need for political leaders to think beyond short-term political gains and consider the long-term economic implications of their decisions. His intervention challenges the notion that immigration is a purely domestic issue, highlighting its role as a crucial factor in international competitiveness and innovation. Musk's involvement in the UK immigration debate exemplifies the increasing influence of non-state actors in shaping global policy. As a figure with substantial economic power and a strong social media presence, Musk has the ability to influence public opinion on issues that extend far beyond his own business interests. His critique of Starmer's policy demonstrates the growing role of private sector leaders in shaping political discourse, particularly on issues that impact the global economy. Musk's comments reflect a broader trend in which business leaders are taking on an active role in public policy debates, often advocating for policies that align with their vision of an interconnected, innovation-driven world. His involvement in the immigration debate suggests that political leaders may need to engage more directly with the business community, as the interests of industry and government become increasingly intertwined in a globalized economy. Musk's remarks serve as a reminder that in industries that are leading the future of technology, such as AI, space exploration, and renewable energy, immigration is not just about bringing in labor, but about attracting minds that drive innovation. In a globalized world where knowledge and talent are increasingly mobile, the competition for skilled workers has become a race between nations to offer the most favorable environments for the brightest minds to thrive. Musk's critique of Starmer suggests that in the realm of high-tech industries, restrictive immigration policies are short-sighted. He implies that a nation that erects barriers to foreign talent risks ceding its position in critical technological fields to other countries that are more open to accepting the world's best and brightest. His words highlight a larger trend in which highly developed economies are competing to create environments where innovative companies can flourish. If immigration is seen as a barrier to this process, then the long-term consequences could be dire, especially for countries like the UK, which have historically been major players in scientific discovery and technological advancement. In his critique, Musk draws attention to the broader issue of how immigration policies can act as catalysts or hindrances to economic development. His argument is rooted in the idea that the flow of talent is one of the key ingredients for fostering a thriving innovation economy. Musk has built his companies, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and the Boring Company, on the premise that innovation is driven by diversity of thought and experience, which often comes from embracing global talent. His success in fields that require the highest levels of expertise, ranging from electric vehicles to interplanetary exploration, depends on his ability to recruit the best and brightest minds, no matter their nationality. For Musk, immigration is not simply about filling jobs. It is about bringing in the necessary talent to power industries that will define the future. His criticism of Starmer's immigration stance suggests that if the UK or other countries continue to impose restrictive policies, they will ultimately hurt their own competitive edge, particularly in high-tech sectors where the pace of progress demands the best minds from around the world. Moreover, Musk's intervention in the debate underscores the broader conflict between innovation-driven industries and the political system that governs them. The business and technology world is fast-paced, and companies like Tesla and SpaceX are often at the forefront of global change, driven by the talents of people from all corners of the world. Musk's view is that governments, especially those of leading economies like the UK, need to adjust their policies in order to keep up with the ever-evolving landscape of innovation. He believes that the immigration policy Starmer champions could inadvertently set back the UK's position in key industries by making it harder to bring in the kind of diverse talent that tech companies like Tesla depend on to fuel progress. Musk's critique of Starmer's policy essentially asks whether politicians can afford to remain focused on short-term nationalistic concerns or whether they must look to the future and embrace policies that allow global talent to flow freely and support the industries of tomorrow. This critique has implications that go far beyond the UK's shores. The rise of tech giants like Tesla, Amazon, Google, and SpaceX has reshaped the global economy and has done so by tapping into a mobile, multinational workforce. Many of the most groundbreaking companies in recent years have been built by attracting talent from a broad range of countries, cultures, and backgrounds. Musk's own companies are prime examples of this approach. Tesla, for example, employs engineers from across the globe to help solve some of the most complex problems in automotive engineering and clean energy. SpaceX has similarly relied on the expertise of individuals from multiple countries to build rockets and plan interplanetary travel. In both of these industries, the idea of restricting immigration would be anathema to their core business models. Musk's advocacy for an open immigration policy is a direct reflection of this approach, as he understands that global collaboration is not just an abstract ideal, but a practical necessity for industries on the cutting edge of technology. Musk's criticism of Starmer's immigration policy also resonates in the context of broader global economic trends. In today's economy, countries that embrace global talent and encourage an influx of skilled workers are better positioned to thrive in emerging industries. In the race for technological supremacy, nations with the most open and adaptive immigration policies are more likely to attract the critical human resources required for innovation. The United States has long been a leader in this regard, with its historically open immigration system allowing it to attract top talent from around the world to fuel Silicon Valley's rise. Musk himself benefited from this environment when he moved from South Africa to the US to pursue his entrepreneurial ambitions. By contrast, countries with more restrictive immigration policies, such as the UK under Starmer's proposed approach, could face challenges in competing with economies that are more inclusive of foreign workers. The rise of globalization and digital interconnectedness has created an environment in which borders are increasingly seen as barriers to progress. Companies are no longer confined to local labor pools, but are able to recruit talent from across the globe to fill roles that are critical to their success. Musk's businesses, for example, are not limited by the availability of local talent. Instead, they are able to reach across borders and recruit individuals who possess the specialized skills needed to drive technological advancements. The notion that national borders should limit the flow of talent is increasingly seen as outdated in industries where global collaboration is key to maintaining competitive advantage. Musk's commentary on Starmer's immigration policy signals a deeper recognition of the role that immigration plays in the larger ecosystem of global innovation. Musk's own success, which has been predicated on the free movement of talent, reflects a growing realization that the future of economic power lies not in protectionism, but in collaboration and openness. One of the more compelling aspects of Musk's intervention is his ability to influence public opinion directly. As one of the most followed figures on social media, Musk's statements often spark global conversations that transcend national borders. His comments on Starmer's immigration policy didn't just resonate in the UK. They sparked debates across the world, particularly in countries where immigration remains a hot-button issue. The global nature of the tech industry and the movement of talent within it means that Musk's views on immigration have implications that stretch far beyond the UK's borders. His criticism of Starmer's policy served as a rallying cry for those who see immigration as an essential component of economic growth and technological progress. Musk's platform has the ability to bypass traditional political structures and speak directly to millions of people around the world. His comments reflected a broader, more internationalist approach to the immigration debate, one that recognizes the global nature of modern economies and the need for nations to attract talent to remain competitive in the 21st century. While Musk's comments may have generated controversy, they also reflect a growing recognition among business leaders of the crucial role that immigration plays in global economic success. By pushing back against restrictive policies, Musk is advocating for an immigration system that better aligns with the demands of the modern, interconnected world. His advocacy for openness is not just about politics. It is about ensuring that countries like the UK remain competitive in the rapidly evolving technological landscape. As industries continue to globalize, governments will need to rethink their approach to immigration and consider how policies can best foster the flow of talent that drives innovation. Musk's critique, far from being a one-off comment, signals a larger shift in how we think about immigration in the context of economic and technological development. It is a call to rethink policies that may restrict the flow of talent and instead embrace an approach that supports long-term growth, innovation, and global collaboration. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Elon Musk's criticism of Keir Starmer's immigration policy? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.